Satyamayi Parame Satyamayi Parame Satyamayi Parame Satyam Jnanam Satyam Jnanam Jyotir Aravinda Jyotir Aravinda Jyotir Aravinda. So we'll start with a story. It's a story about two donkeys who somehow lost the trail of their masters and they were walking and they fell into a pit and they couldn't find their way out. And one donkey was very devoted to his master and he said that no, my master loves me very much. He's going to find a way to come and get me. And the other donkey was feeling more and more crestfallen, like what will happen to me? How will I get my next meal? And they were waiting and finally they see their master's head over the edge of the pit. And they both feel, okay, now we'll be saved. But then they see their master taking shovels of sand and throwing it on them. And the first donkey started feeling, oh, now even my master wants to drown me and is covering me with sand. He's given up on me, or he feels I'm a burden, so he feels it's better off I die. So he was very crestfallen and he just stayed there and let the sand cover him and he got buried. The other donkey said, yeah, it's strange that my master's putting sand on me like this, but my master's wise and he loves me, so he won't be putting sand for no reason. So he kept scrambling and climbing over the sand till finally he reached the top. So the master was throwing sand to give his pets a way to climb. But one of the pet saw it as doom and was actually doomed. The other one saw it as a lifeline and he came up. So many times in life when things don't go right, when like the first donkey felt betrayed by his master, and sometimes we'll feel betrayed by people who we really trust, or things can go wrong in our life. But there's a great wisdom in knowing that, you know, those beautiful lines of Savitri we keep coming back to. This life was not built with random bricks of chance. A blind God is not destiny's architect. A conscious power has drawn the plan of life, and there is a meaning in every curve and line. So sometimes we don't have the wisdom to see the hidden meaning in the curve and line, and sometimes we feel very let down, very crestfallen, very like this has happened and I've lost my faith. Like the first donkey, he lost his faith because he just looked at appearance. He didn't have the patience to see what that appearance was leading to. So this brings us to the title of our talk, The Living Kurukshetra. So both the donkeys, when they fell into the pit, they were in a living Kurukshetra, and the Kurukshetra is not a battlefield outside. It's a battlefield within us, right? the tug to give in to doom and darkness, and the feeling that I'm abandoned and everything's lost, or the faith that despite appearances holds on and says that, yeah, the appearance is painting doom to me, but my God can never be wrong. If He's done something, there must be a wisdom to it that my mind can't understand. Yes, the highest wisdom in my mind is calling this wrong, calling this unfortunate, but there's a wisdom behind the highest wisdom of my mind, and according to that, it may not be what's wrong. So the Kurukshetra within us, the living Kurukshetra, is always a battle between believing appearances, how life appears to us, and having faith beyond what the appearance spells out. So again, there are those gorgeous lines in Savitri: whatever the appearance we must bear, however life appears to us, and we have to bear it. Whatever our strong ills and present fate, whatever is the ill fortune in our life just now, and present fate, the unfortunate, the misfortune that's within us, whatever our strong ills and present fate, when nothing we can see but drift and bale, drift, randomness, bale, sorrow, that's all that's meeting our eyes. A mighty guidance leads us still through all. There is a guidance behind it all. The master throwing sand into the well was also guidance to come out. But the first donkey couldn't see that guidance and he succumbed to his fate. The other donkey kept his faith and kept doing his best, and he was lifted out. So the living Kurukshetra is always this tug of war between believing the appearance that my mind sees and the faith in my heart. And faith is required so long as I don't have the truth and wisdom. When I see the truth and wisdom, then it's Gyan, it's not Shraddha anymore. It begins as Shraddha, where I believe it, but I'm not yet seeing it. But when I see it, then it's not Shraddha anymore. It becomes Gyan, it's something that I see. So even Gurudev faced this Kurukshetra, right? We covered that last class when he was in Alipur jail, and for a moment he said that, I thought I was doing your work, fighting for the country. Why have you brought me to this? And then he saw Sri Krishna, right? And the whole thing changed. Now, suppose we don't see Krishna through a spiritual experience the way Gurudev did, yet we can have the faith in our heart that this whole universe is the body of God, that every movement in it is an unfolding of God intelligence, that whether I see it as good or bad, Sri Aurobindo reminds me again and again, only for good the secret will can work. He also says that in this universe there is no evil. Every evil is really good in the making, right? So when we see, so to go deeper into the living Kurukshetra, it's about believing the illusions of my mind or seeing through my thoughts to the truth that hides behind. My mind is painting a certain scenario to me, and that is, if I'm identified with my thoughts, that scenario is very real to me. Nothing in me can believe that what my mind is saying is not true. But the real Kurukshetra is to see through the narratives of my thought, to see the truth behind appearance. When I fall into avidya, I see the whole universe divorced from God, right? If I call something bad, I don't believe that God's hand is in it. The real Kurukshetra is to find that Kalyan Shraddha in my heart, to see God's hand in that also and to make peace with it. So now we come to these lines from Savitri. They are page 42-43. A secret sense awoke that could perceive a presence and a greatness everywhere. This was for Ashwapati. In him that secret sense awoke that could perceive a presence and a greatness everywhere. The universe was not now this senseless whirl, borne round inert on an immense machine. So the universe was not now this senseless world. If you see the universe divorced from God, nothing makes sense. You wonder, why are people like this? Why are things like this? It makes no sense to us. But when this secret sense awakens, a secret sense awoke that could perceive a presence and a greatness everywhere. The universe was not now this senseless whirl, borne round inert on an immense machine. It cast away its grandiose, lifeless front. So when the inner eye awakens, it's as if the universe casts away its veil and you see the truth of God's body behind everything. A mechanism no more or work of chance, but a living movement of the body of God. A spirit hid in forces and in forms was the spectator of the mobile scene. So this whole universe is like a moving scene, but there's a spirit hid in forces and in forms, which is the witness which looks from behind at everything. The beauty and the ceaseless miracle let in a glow of the unmanifest. The formless everlasting moved in it, seeking its own perfect form in souls and things. Life kept no more a dull and meaningless shape. So when you see the world devoid of God, life is dull, meaningless. We have to kind of drag our feet through life because there's nothing to look forward to. But when we really recognize the presence of God in everything, we get a new hope. We wake up with a new excitement to discover more and more the footprints of God in life, isn't it? But if we forget, if we remove God from the equation of life, we'll have a few good days, but more or less life will feel meaningless. It will feel like a burden. It will feel, what am I living for? Finally, I'm going to die anyway. Finally, I'm going to lose my loved ones anyway. Many of us have that feeling, no? So it all seems pointless. But when we keep reminding ourselves that this is not something meaningless, this is a movement of God, that every day it's a chance to discover more and more the one who I truly love, who I've loved through every lifetime and who has always loved me. The other people in my life, yes, of course I love them. But sooner or later everyone will part. But this one love will stay with me all my life. And every day I have a chance to get closer and closer to that love. So that can bring great joy and excitement to us, right? If we are looking for it. Life kept no more a dull and meaningless shape. In the struggle and upheaval of the world, he saw the labor of a Godhead's birth, a secret knowledge masked as ignorance, fate covered with an unseen necessity, the game of chance of an omnipotent will. Fate covered with an unseen necessity. So when things good or bad happen, we call it fate. But that is really fate covering an unseen necessity, a necessity for my soul. So suppose I've been through an experience of grief, betrayal, fear, whatever, and I call it my fate, and I say, okay, many of us think, okay, my bad karma coming back, but it's not as simple as that. Fate covers an unseen necessity. That necessity is the evolutionary curve I'm on. I needed to go through this experience for reasons sometimes my human mind just can't understand. But I did need to go through the experience if it came. And sometimes if we are evolutionary beings, instead of falling into the pit like the first donkey and giving into gloom, I can ask myself, why has this happened? What can I learn from it? Because there'll always be something that you have to learn from every painful experience. So, and even if I can't see it, maybe I won't see it immediately, I'll feel that my mind will say, no, such a horrible experience, I didn't have to learn anything from it. But don't believe your mind, be patient, wait, see where it leads. So a secret knowledge masked as ignorance, fate covered with an unseen necessity. The game of chance of an omnipotent will. So fate covered what we call as chance, the supreme will. Fate is only working out the supreme will. A glory and a rapture and a charm. The all blissful sat unknown within the heart. Earth's pains were the ransom of its prisoned delights. So beautiful. The all blissful, that is God, sat unknown within the heart. We don't know that He sits, but He sits within the heart. And earth's pains were the ransom. What is a ransom? If I kidnap a child, I'll ask the parents for the ransom. So earth's pain were the ransom. The price our pain is the price we pay for not recognizing the God that sits inside us. Till we recognize the God that sits inside us, we'll go on having pain. Such a gorgeous line. I'll read it again. The all blissful sat unknown within the heart. Earth's pains were the ransom of its prisoned delight. The world was a conception and a birth of spirit in matter into living forms. So Gurudev is clearly telling us this, that the world is the body of God, that you can't find God divorced from the world. The world was a conception and a birth of spirit in matter into living forms, and nature bore the immortal in her womb, that she might climb through him to eternal life. So matter, nature is the womb of the spirit. The spirit gestates in the womb of nature, and nature carries this child God spirit so that through the spirit she can climb to eternal life. It's such a beautiful play of words. And nature bore the immortal in her womb, that she might climb through him to eternal life. Now Savitri, page 47-48. A greater personality sometimes possesses us, which yet we know is ours, or we adore the master of our souls. So in moments when we feel bright and happy and calm and joy and peaceful, and we feel like this is not me, I'm usually so lackluster, so dull, but just now I'm feeling so lit up. So that's when a greater personality sometimes possesses us, which yet we know is ours. We say this is not me, but that greater personality is the real me. This other me that I'm living with is the shadow of that greater personality. It's not the real me. A greater personality sometimes possesses us, which yet we know is ours. Or we adore the master of our souls. So there are times when we lose our fascination for our attachments to people and things, and a spontaneous love for the transcendent, for the mother, for the master of the being comes forward. A greater personality sometimes possesses us, which yet we know is ours, or we adore the master of our souls. Then the small bodily ego thins and falls, no more insisting on its separate self. So either the way of Gyan, when we feel larger than ourselves, when we recognize that we are bigger than our ego, or we are carried in a moment of deep bhakti and love. In both these times, the ego fails. The ego becomes very thin. Then the small bodily ego thins and falls, no more insisting on its separate self, losing the punctilio like a comma of its separate birth. It leaves us one with nature and with God. In moments when the inner lamps are lit, the lamps of our spirit self, when those are lit, and the life's cherished guests are left outside, whatever we are attached to are the cherished guests of life. So in moments when the inner lamps of the spirit are lit and all our attachments are left outside, our spirit sits alone and speaks to its gulfs. A wider consciousness opens then its doors. So we are living in a very limited, small consciousness. And there's that beautiful mantra from the Upanishad, Yovai Bhuma Tat Sukham. That which is vast, that is happy. Bhuma is vast. Nalpe Sukham Asti, Alpa is small. Not in the small is there joy. Bhumai va Sukham, only in widening is there joy. So when we sit alone and speak to our gulfs, a wider consciousness opens then its doors. In wading from spiritual silences, a ray of timeless glory stoops a while to commune with our seized, illumined clay, lit up clay. Our body is the lit up clay. An array of timeless glory, that is the divine, descends down. A ray of timeless glory stoops a while to commune with our seized, illumined clay and leaves its huge white stamp upon our lives. White is the color of purity. And even once, if that happens to us, and I'm sure it's happened to all of us more than once, we can't be the same ever again. That stamp is left on us forever. It's a beautiful passage. I'm reading it without explanation. Just listen to it from your heart. Explanations for Savitri are actually redundant. Let Savitri lines speak to you for themselves. A greater personality sometimes possesses us, which yet we know is ours, or we adore the master of our souls. Then the small bodily ego thins and falls, no more insisting on its separate self, losing the punctilio of its separate birth. It leaves us one with nature and with God. In moments when the inner lamps are lit and the life's cherished guests are left outside, our spirit sits alone and speaks to its gulfs. A wider consciousness opens then its doors, invading from spiritual silences. A ray of timeless glory stoops a while to commune with our seized, illumined clay, and leaves its huge white stamp upon our lives. Now page 49, Savitri again. Now Sri Aurobindo is telling us how to align ourselves with the truth. So Mother's written that beautiful line, at every moment you have the choice between the height and the abyss, but it is you who must choose. The height is the consciousness of truth. Abyss is ignorance, avidya. So every time we are unhappy and we stay unhappy, we have chosen the abyss. You know, the mother once, when somebody who felt very grateful to the mother for all that she had done, said, "Mother, I want to do something for you, tell me what I can do." And she had said, "The best gift you can give me is remaining happy and cheerful all the time." So, the divine has given us so much grace, so much of our life. And every time we get sullen, unhappy, we are not being grateful for that gift, right? And that's what the mother wants from us. Just be happy all the time. Be lit up with faith and be happy. And that's the best gratitude we can offer to her. So every time we choose the abyss, we fall into unhappiness. And that's the time we have to be like the first donkey in the story. However much the ground is slipping below our feet, to keep climbing on the sand, doing our best till we finally are lifted up. We owe it to the mother, right? If she's making so much effort 24/7 to keep our well-being intact, we also should give back something. Life's not going to be easy all the time, and things won't go the way we want them to all the time. But even that is grace. That's the bigger grace, the grace that rocks my boat and makes me extend my boundaries of faith, extend my boundaries of smallness into something larger. That's the bigger grace, isn't it? So that's the time we have to really hold on to our faith and the grace. So Sri Aurobindo says, it is the origin and the master clue. What is the origin and the master clue to find this truth within us? He says, a silence overhead, an inner voice, a living image seated in the heart. So beautiful. 3 things. There's a realm of silence overhead. There's an inner voice that's slowly but surely guiding you towards the silence, and a living image seated in the heart. So when Sri Aurobindo was asked for a method of meditation, he said, in my yoga there's no fixed method except keep mother and my image in your heart and say our names. That's all. So a living, but it shouldn't be a mechanical image. I love this phrase, living image. When is it a living image? When is it a mechanical image, and when is it a living image?
When you can feel their presence.
How do you feel their presence?
You just feel warm.
Yeah, so when the body responds to it, when there's maybe goose flesh, tingling, some sensation in the body that is responding, then that image is a living image. Or for some of us who are more open in the mind falls into a peace and wideness, but it changes something in me. When that happens, then it's a living image. Otherwise, it's mechanical. So a silence overhead, an inner voice, a living image seated in the heart, an unwalled wideness and a fathomless point. It's an unwalled wideness, a wideness which has no walls to hem it. It just keeps widening and widening. And a fathomless point, a depthless point. It has no depth. The truth of all these cryptic shows in space. Our life is a cryptic show in space. Cryptic is something I can't understand. Many things in life are like a cryptic show. I don't understand it at all. The truth of all these cryptic shows in space, the real towards which our strivings move. We don't know it, but Sri Aurobindo so beautifully writes in Synthesis of Yoga, I think, that just know that everything you see, touch, feel is what secretly you adore in your deepest self. So deep down, I'm always adoring that one, but I don't know it. So everything you see is what you actually secretly adore. So the real towards which our strivings move. I might think that I'm striving to get a partnership with this person, I'm striving to do well at work, I'm striving for this, I'm striving for that. But there's an invisible hand behind which is maneuvering all those strivings to finally pull us towards itself. So the real towards which our strivings move, the secret grandiose meaning in our lives, a treasure of honey in the combs of God, a splendor burning in a tenebrous cloak. Tenebrous is dark. So God's presence in us is a splendor burning in the dark cloak. Dark cloak is our humanity. A splendor burning in a tenebrous cloak. It is our glory of the flame of God, a golden fountain of the world's delight, an immortality cowled in the cape of death. So actually we are an essence which is immortal, but look at his play of words. We are that immortal essence covered in a cloak of death, immortality wearing a coat of death, the shape of our unborn divinity. It here is the Godhead within us. It guards for us our fate in depths within, where sleeps the eternal seed of transient things. What a marvelous line. The eternal seed of transient things. Transient is changing. So the Godhead within us is the eternal seed. The seed is eternal, but it goes on sprouting. Now is this, now is that, now is that, through all eternity. So where sleeps the eternal seed of transient things. So the Godhead within us guards for us our fate in our depths. What is the fate? To finally take us home to our truth, to our oneness, to our God nature. So this Godhead within us is somehow guarding that and taking us through all life experiences to take us closer and closer to this Godhead within. Somewhere else in Savitri there are those lines similarly. In it, an outstretched hand is felt upon our lives. It keeps for us safe what no will can change, what no doom can take away. The crown of conscious immortality, the Godhead promised to our struggling souls when first man's heart dared death and suffered life. So an outstretched hand is felt upon our lives. It keeps for us safe what no will can change, no doom can take away. What does this Godhead within us, which is the outstretched hand upon our life, keep safe? The crown of conscious immortality, the ultimate God intention in creation, that all of us must blossom into a conscious immortality, become one with the God nature that we are. So that's a similar thing expressed here. It guards for us our fate in depths within, where sleeps the eternal seed of transient things. Always we bear in us a magic key concealed in life's hermetic envelope. Hermetic is sealed. So inside the sealed envelope of life, there is a key which opens the magic doors. Always we bear in us a magic key concealed in life's hermetic envelope. What is this key? Now he's saying, a burning witness in the sanctuary regards through time and the blind walls of form. A timeless light is in his hidden eyes. He sees the secret things no words can speak and knows the goal of the unconscious world and the heart of the mystery of the journeying years. So what is the secret key, the magic key inside us that unlocks the peace and happiness and joy we are looking for? This secret witness, which is the burning witness in the sanctuary. So all of us have inside us a witness, what we did in the yoga class this morning as the Ravi inside us, the one who shines in his own light, that in us which is self-existent. Okay, so the witness inside us is self-existent. It is something in us which nothing that life does can add to its joy, nothing can subtract. It is whole and complete. It is all-knowing. It knows everything. And because it knows everything, it doesn't get overwhelmed by appearances. Our mind gets overwhelmed by appearances because it's only seeing a small part. But the witness inside us sees the whole because it's all-knowing. And because it sees the whole, it recognizes the role pain has to play in our lives. And it doesn't get overwhelmed by that pain. It says, yeah, I know I'm going to go through this pain in this earthly experience, but that pain is only going to take me to a better place. So it doesn't fight the pain. It allows the pain to complete what it has to do. So, these lines again, a burning witness in the sanctuary regards through time and the blind walls of form. A timeless light is in his hidden eyes. The eyes of the witness see with a light that our eyes can't see. He sees the secret things no words can speak and knows the goal of the unconscious world. Our mind doesn't know what all these life experiences are leading to. So our mind is quick to write this up as good or bad. But the witness inside us knows the goal of the unconscious world and the heart of the mystery of the journeying years. To our mind, the journeying years seem so random, so pointless. But this witness inside us knows the heart of the mystery of the journeying years. So I'm going to read this passage without explanation. Just feel it. Feel it in your heart. It is the origin and the master clue. A silence overhead, an inner voice, a living image seated in the heart, an unwalled wideness and a fathomless point, the truth of all these cryptic shows in space, the real towards which our strivings move, the secret grandiose meaning of our lives, a treasure of honey in the combs of God, a splendor burning in a tenebrous cloak. It is our glory of the flame of God, our golden fountain of the world's delight, an immortality cowled in the cape of death, the shape of our unborn divinity. It guards for us our fate in depths within, where sleeps the eternal seed of transient things. Always we bear in us a magic key, concealed in life's hermetic envelope, a burning witness in the sanctuary, regards through time and the blind walls of form. A timeless light is in his hidden eyes. He sees the secret things no words can speak, and knows the goal of the unconscious world and the heart of the mystery of the journeying years. Page 61, Savitri. A phenomenon stands out significant against dim backgrounds of eternity. We accept its face and pass by all it means. A part is seen, we take it for the whole. So everything that we see, take for an example, a fight you've had with somebody, that's a phenomenon, right? Or an exciting time you've had with somebody, that's a phenomenon. So a phenomenon stands out significant. It's very significant to us. It's so significant that the background it stands out again, we lose sight of it. What's the background of that phenomenon? The background of that phenomenon is eternity. That is to say, that to really know why something happens, you have to know the cause-effect chain dating all the way back to the beginning of time that made it happen. Are you all with me? Is that clear? We see only the happening, but there are so many hidden causes that precipitate an event, that make it happen. But to our eyes, only that phenomenon is significant. The background of eternity against which it stands, that is dimmed out. So he's saying a phenomenon stands out significant against dim backgrounds of eternity. We accept its face and pass by all it means. We just look at it, this is bad, this is unfortunate, or this is exciting, this is good. But we pass by all it means, and we can't blame ourselves because with our limited consciousness, we don't know what it means. But we can at least make a leap of faith and recognize that it has its roots in some source which dates back to eternity. I don't have to take it for its appearance only. A part is seen, we take it for the whole. That's the mistake we always make. We see a part and we take it for the whole. So I'm reading these lines again. A phenomenon stands out significant against dim backgrounds of eternity. We accept its face and pass by all it means. A part is seen, we take it for the whole. Now Mother's words. Somebody asked Mother, you have said in your New Year message for this year, salute to the advent of truth. Is it therefore very near? What must we do during 1965, that was the year the question was asked, to prepare ourselves to recognize it and receive it? So Mother gave a message, salute to the advent of truth. So the sadhak is asking, does that mean the truth consciousness is very near? Mother replies, the best thing to do is to distinguish in oneself the origin of all one's movements, those that come from the light of truth and those that come from the old inertia and falsehood, in order to accept the first and reject the others. With practice, one learns to distinguish more and more clearly, but one can establish as a general rule that all that tends towards disharmony, disorder and inertia comes from the falsehood, and all that favors union, harmony, order and consciousness comes from the truth. So beautiful, no? Such a beautiful parameter she's given us. Anything that makes you agitated, upset, disharmonious is coming from falsehood. You've chosen the abyss. Anything that brings you joy and peace and oneness and light is coming from the truth, and when you're aligned with that, you've chosen the height. So that is the living Kurukshetra. Whenever the enemy comes, the enemy is really a thought of negativity, a thought of negation, a thought of ingratitude for my life. Ingratitude for my life comes in the forms of hopelessness, disappointment, frustration. Those are coming from forces of darkness. And every time I feel joy, gratitude, compassion, empathy, peace, those are coming from forces of light. So it's my choice at every moment what I want to align with. This is only a hint, Mother says, nothing more. But how to take the first steps on the path? Yeah, she says, salute the advent of the truth, and the advent of the truth is, first step is, whenever you fall into negativity, recognize that you've fallen prey to the enemy. The enemy is inside you. And then call on your army of light. The army of light is always inside you. The army of light is your faith, your peace, your love. So beautiful. Again, there's that line in Savitri, faith their armor, courage their sword, they must march, sons and heroes of the army of light. Faith their armor, courage their sword. So what is this armor and sword? Why, when do we need faith and courage? When we look at life and feel despondent, hopeless, lost. That's the battle inside us, right? So Mother is saying, take faith as your armor, courage as your sword, and march, sons and heroes of the army of light. Sri Aurobindo's words. In the teaching of the Gita, which is more Catholic and complex than other specialized teachings in the disciplines, these things assume larger meaning. For the unity here is the all-embracing Vedantic unity by which the soul sees all in itself and itself in all, and makes itself one with all beings. The dharma is therefore the taking up of all human relations into a higher divine meaning, starting from the established ethical, social and religious rule which binds together the whole community in which the God seeker lives. So Sri Aurobindo is saying very beautifully that for the God seeker there's only one dharma. Dharma is the principle of being. Jo mujhe dharta hai, that is dharma, the principle of being that holds me together. And for the God lover, there is only one dharma: to live by oneness, to live by looking to see that I am God and everything is God. Therefore, everything is bits of myself. So, for example, if I lived like that, it would be very spontaneous for me to rejoice when I see fellow beings happy. And when I see them unhappy, how would I respond? Huh?
Feeling their pain is yours.
Feeling their pain as yours is one half of it, but what else? Yeah?
And so you can help them and help them get rid of their pain, or
Yeah.
see it as Leela.
See it as Leela. If I'm one with God, I know that the God self behind the person who's suffering also is looking after the person. Seeing that pain doesn't make me collapse into hopelessness. I know that's God, and all in me wants to reach out and help them, but without hopelessness, without sorrow, without being pulled down. Because I have that faith that if the God in me is looking after me, why will the God in them not look after? I mean, God is in everyone and He knows how to look after Himself in each of His becomings. And it's not up to me to save them or take away their pain. That's where I always feel defeated, because I want to help, but if I can't take away their pain, I feel defeated. But I shouldn't take away their pain. Somewhere Sri Aurobindo writes the privilege of pain. Each being goes through pain as a privilege in their evolutionary journey. Who am I to take away that privilege of pain from them? But yes, I can do what I can to help them on their journey and then leave it. Then it's up to God. It's their journey with God, with the God that they are. Yeah, so he's saying that the real dharma is to see God in all things. And Sri Aurobindo says that in his integral yoga, this is a primary contemplation, to constantly, a primary smaran, to constantly remember that all is God. And if all is God and I am God, all is myself. So I will treat others like I treat myself. And very often I treat myself very badly, no? In my mind at least. Well, every time I'm whipping myself, I'm whipping the God in me. So I have to treat myself also with kindness. So, the dharma is therefore the taking up of all human relations into a higher divine meaning, starting from the established ethical, social and religious rule which binds together the whole community in which the God seeker lives. It lifts it up by informing it with the Brahmic consciousness. The law it gives is the law of oneness, of equality, of liberated, desireless, God-governed action, of God knowledge and self-knowledge. God knowledge is the same as self-knowledge, enlightening and drawing to itself all the nature and all the action, drawing it towards divine being and divine consciousness, and of God love as the supreme power and crown of the knowledge and the action. The idea of companionship and mutual aid in God love and God seeking, which is at the basis of the idea of Sangha or divine fellowship, is brought in when the Gita speaks of seeking of God through love and adoration. But the real Sangha, the three refuges the Buddha talks about, Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha. Sangha is the company of like-minded people who walk the path with you. But Sri Aurobindo says the real Sangha of this teaching of the Gita is all humanity. All beings are my Sangha. Every fellow human being is helping me in my journey towards God. Even the difficult person, even the person who made me sad, who betrayed me, he is equally the part of the Sangha leading me towards my God self. The whole world is moving towards this dharma. What is the dharma? This dharma is what? The dharma of oneness. The whole world is moving towards this dharma, each man according to his capacity. In quotes, Krishna's words, "It is my path that men follow in every way." Then of course, the Uttamam Rahasya of the Gita, the secret of secrets in the Gita, is captured in these two shlokas. Manmana bhava, become me-minded. Mad bhakto, offer worship to me, offer adoration to me. Madhyaji, mam namaskuru, sacrifice unto me, bow your head only to me, Krishna is telling Arjun. Mame vaishyasi satyam te, to me you will come. Prati jane priyosi me, know this because you are dear to me. Through every life experience, I am going to bring you to me alone. Every life experience is paving the way for you to come to me. But to make the path easier for you, three things. Manmana bhava, become me-minded. Sri Aurobindo explains what that means. Mad bhakto, offer devotion and adoration to me. Madhyaji, sacrifice unto me. And mam namaskuru. So now Sri Aurobindo's explanation, become my-minded, my lover and adorer, a sacrificer to me. Bow thyself to me thou shalt come. This is my pledge and promise to thee, for dear art thou to me. So beautiful this line, Prati jane, know this, priyosi me, you're dear to me. Even when you feel people hate you, even when you hate yourself, know this, that you're eternally and unconditionally dear to me. And out of my love for you, it's my promise to you that I will bring you to me. So, and then of course there's the second 18.66, 18 chapter 66 shloka, Sarva Dharman Parityajya. He's saying, give up every other dharma. So, Mamekam Sharanam Vraja, take refuge in me alone. Don't take refuge in your beliefs and thoughts and other things. Take refuge in me alone. Sarva Dharman Parityajya. Pari is fully, Tyajya is sacrifice. Mam Ekam, Ekam alone me, to me alone. Sharanam Vraja, Vraja is come. Come take refuge in me alone. Aham tvam sarva papebhyo moksha yishyami. You cannot overcome your shortcomings. I'm aware of that. I will do it for you. All you have to do is take refuge in me. So I was seeing this very beautiful Netflix serial Chosen on Jesus. Y'all should watch it. It's beautiful. So there was one line where Mary Magdalene tells Jesus that, you know, I can't live up to you give me so much grace and I keep falling back, and I don't have it in me to live up to what you want me to be. So Jesus says, yes, that's true, but you don't even have to live up to it. You have to just give me your heart. You have to just give my Father your heart. That's all I want. Rest, what you live up to or not, is my lookout. So, I mean, it's so beautiful. In every tradition, truth has one voice. Na? Whether it's the Gita, whether it's Jesus speaking. So, in brief, the meaning of these two shlokas is self-surrender, Sri Aurobindo says. To the extent that one can make his surrender to Krishna, the divine force comes down into his body by the grace of the All-Merciful, delivering him from sin and conferring on him a divine nature. This self-surrender has been described in the first half of the shloka. One has to be tanmana. Tanmana is like first he's saying manmana, be me-minded. So the devotee will say, I am tanmana, I am you-minded. So one has to be tanmana, tad bhakto, devoted to you, tadyaji, sacrificing to you. Tanmana means to see him in every being, to remember him at all times, to remain in perfect felicity, being aware of the play of his power, knowledge and love in all works and events. Tad bhakta signifies union with him founded on an entire faith and love. Tadyaji means offering of all works, big and small, as a sacrifice to Krishna, and being engaged in doing rightly regulated action to that end by giving up egoistic interests and the fruits of works. It is difficult for a human being to make a complete self-surrender, but if he makes even a little effort, then God gives him the assurance, becomes his guru, protector and friend, and leads him forward on the path of yoga. Swalpamasya dharmasya triyate mahato bhayat. It means even a little of this dharma delivers one from the great fear. So the solution to fear, which all of us live with in greater or lesser degrees, is faith and surrender. So in the Vedas, there's a beautiful mantra. Na bibeti kutashchaneti. Wherever the one who knows that everywhere is the one God goes, na bibheti, he is never afraid. Kutashchaneti, wherever he goes, he is never afraid, because he knows, what should I be afraid of? Everyone is God and everything is God. And if you know this and you have faith in it and you surrender to it, then that's the solution to all fear. Even a little of this dharma, the dharma of seeing God and oneness in all, delivers one from the great fear. He has said that it is easy and delightful to practice this dharma. And in fact, it is so. Whenever I practice this dharma of oneness, I get filled with delight and fearlessness. Yet the result of the total consecration is an inexpressible joy, purity, and acquisition of power. Mame vaishyasi, to me thou shalt come, means the human being will find me, will live with me, will acquire my nature. In these words, the realization of Sadrashya, God nature, Salokya, living with God, and Sayujya, identification with God, are mentioned. Dharma is for all. However, even a little practice of this dharma gives great power, unalloyed joy, complete happiness and purity. This dharma has not been created only for people with special qualities. The Lord has said that the Brahmin, the Kshatriya, the Vaishya, the Shudra, man, woman, and all beings of inferior birth can come to Him by adhering to this dharma. So in God's love there is no hierarchy. He will love the Shudra, the Harijan, as much as He loved the king. If He doesn't make distinctions between people, why do we? Why do we constantly say this one's better, this one's worse, I'll be kind to this one, I'll be unkind to that one? In the temple of Jagannath, no distinction is made on account of caste. During the Rath Yatra, the whole point of the Rath Yatra is to mount Jagannath on a chariot and take him through the streets so that people of all caste and religions can come and touch him. So in the temple of Jagannath, no distinction is made on account of caste. Yet, the crowning glory attained through this dharma is in no way less than the supreme state indicated in other religions. There is no fate except insistent causality. Before we go to this, there's a beautiful story of Sri Aurobindo where one day when a person was coming to his room to do the duties, mother told the person that in the name of Sri Aurobindo, I tell you not to disturb the sparrow that's sitting on that particular ledge. So Sri Aurobindo used to walk up and down many hours in the night bringing down the force, and look at him. He was concerned with bringing down the supramental force, and in the midst of all that, he remembered to tell mother that tell the helper not to disturb the sparrow. How wide and detailed his compassion was. He didn't think that it was more important to bring down the supramental force than look after the rest of a sparrow. That's how vast and wide Gurudev was. There is no fate except insistent causality, which is only another name for law. The law itself is only an instrument in the hands of nature for the satisfaction of the spirit. So beautiful. The law, here it means karma. So the law itself is an instrument in the hands of nature for the satisfaction of the spirit. So through the law of karma, we grow into the spirit. So I keep telling you, the law of karma is not a law of punishment, it's a law of love. If you are in ignorance, the same triggers will come to you again and again till you overcome the ignorance. Now that is love, no? That life will never give up on you. It won't say that this is a bad student, no point giving more and more tests. It will give you infinite tests till you pass it. And test is not like, test is a chance to grow. It will give you infinite opportunities to grow till you've made that growth. So law is nothing but a mode or rule of action. It is called in our philosophy not law but dharma, holding together. It is that by which the action of the universe, the action of its parts, the action of the individual is held together. This action in the universal, the parts, the individuals is called karma, work, action, energy in play. The definition of dharma or law is action as decided by the nature of the thing in which action takes place. Now, classic lines of Sri Aurobindo. The law means karma, is for the bound and those whose eyes are sealed. That means those who operate in ignorance, the laws of karma will apply to them. If they walk not by it, they will stumble, because if karma doesn't give us the wake-up calls all the time, we will stumble. But thou who art free in Krishna, or who has seen his living light, walk holding the hand of thy friend and by the lamp of eternal Veda. So one who doesn't have a free will of his own, because his will is one with Krishna, no karma applies to him. How can it? Karma starts with human will, right? For sages who have no human will left and are only instruments of the divine will, what karma can apply? So it's beautiful that he's saying whether we are ignorant and bound by karma, or we have risen into wisdom and are free of karma, either way we win. When we are ignorant, karma is what stops us from stumbling. And when we've risen into wisdom, anyway we are walking in light. And the last passage from Savitri, the Supreme's gaze looked out through human eyes and saw all things and creatures as itself. This is the supreme dharma. When an inner light looks out and sees all creatures and things as myself, and knew all thought and words as its own voice, there unity is too close for search and clasp. When you're in this oneness, you can't feel unity, you can't clasp it, you can't search for it. Like water can't feel wet, no? Only if you're outside water, you know what wetness is. But when you're in unity, you can't search it or clasp it. Their unity is too close for search and clasp. And love is a yearning of the one for the one. The most beautiful definition of love. Love is a yearning of the one for the one. And beauty is a sweet difference of the same. The same one who's appearing beautiful there appears ugly there. But it's a sweet difference of the same. And beauty is a sweet difference of the same. And oneness, the soul of multitude, S-O-U-L, of multitude. So beautiful. Multitude is the many, but oneness is the soul of the many. I'm reading these lines again and we'll end with that. The Supreme's gaze looked out through human eyes and saw all things and creatures as itself, and knew all thought and word as its own voice. There, unity is too close for search and clasp, and love is a yearning of the one for the one, and beauty is a sweet difference of the same, and oneness is the soul of multitude. We end with this, hands together in a namaste.